President Trump is flying back from China, and he gets into a confrontation with a New York Times reporter, David Sanger, and he says some truly outrageous things. Let's watch it first.
They accused me of repeating the bombing. You did it for 38 days.
Well, no, we did.
And you did not get the political changes in Iran.
No, I had a total military victory. But the fake news, guys like you write incorrectly. You're a fake guy, and guys like you write about it incorrectly. We had a total military victory. I actually think it's sort of treasonous what you write, but you and the New York Times and CNN, I would say, are the worst.
On another war.
You should know better, David. You're a professor. You know better. Your editors tell you what to write, and you write, and you should be ashamed of it.
Subject of another war. Is there any
I actually think it's treason. When you write like they're doing well militarily and they have no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-anything. By the way, we knocked out 85% of their manufacturing for the missiles. We knocked out everything. We haven't knocked out other than one bridge, and we did because they misbehaved. But we have bridges we could knock out. We could knock out their bridges and their electrical capacity. Within 2 days, we could knock out the whole thing.
We had total military victory, and we knocked out, quote, everything. So I'm gonna give you the receipts on that in a second, but it doesn't get any more ironic than Trump in the middle of saying that, looking at a guy going, "You're a fake guy." No, literally everything you just said is fake. Now look, as anyone who watches Young Turks knows, I got no love for the New York Times. And so I can show you all the things that they do wrong. But when you go at them, you should have some receipts. And obviously in this case, Donald Trump doesn't. But most importantly, guys, it is not treasonous to write about the administration, to criticize the administration, to state facts about how a war is actually going. In fact, that's what journalists are supposed to do. This is rare good reporting by the New York Times in that issue. So, in fact, what did actually happen, as the New York Times reported earlier, most alarming to some senior officials is evidence that Iran has restored operational access to 30 of the 33 missile sites it maintains along the Strait of Hormuz, which could threaten American warships and oil tankers transiting the narrow waterways. We knocked out everything. By everything, if you mean 3 out of 33 missile launchers at the most important place now literally in the world, the Strait of Hormuz, yeah. There is a fake guy in that conversation, and it ain't the New York Times reporter in that case. But wait, it's way worse than that. They explain further, Iran still fields about 70% of its mobile launchers across the country and has retained roughly 70% of its pre-war missile stockpile, according to the assessments. That stockpile encompasses both ballistic missiles and a smaller supply of cruise missiles, which can be used against shorter range targets on land or at sea. And by the way, where are they getting this information? Is it the New York Times went and looked around Iran and tried to figure out? No, it's from our intelligence, American intelligence. So Donald Trump is actively lying to you. He knows this intelligence as well. Although on the other hand, maybe he doesn't, because they do show and tell with him since he's a child. And in the mornings they show him bombing videos and they go, look at all the things we destroyed in Iran. Look, we destroyed a hospital and a school. You're doing great, Donald Trump. And we destroyed their whole Navy and military and Air Force, Donald Trump. You could tell everyone that. And he's like, oh, Petey boy, we got him, didn't we, Petey boy? And then the stock market doesn't go down. He's like, God, the market's up and we destroyed everything. We should restart the war. Yeah, great idea. Let's see how that turns out, because I'm afraid we're about to. Lastly here, based on information from multiple collection streams, including satellite imagery and other surveillance technologies, Iran has regained access to roughly 90% of its underground missile storage and launch facilities nationwide, which are now assessed to be partially or fully operational, the people with knowledge of the assessment said. Now, I know that Donald Trump hides his grades from college and from high school. Who cares what you got in high school? But maybe because he's so bad at math, he's like, oh, we got 10% of their capabilities. We got everything. 10 equals 100, doesn't it? You just put a 0 at the end and the 0 isn't worth it. 100, no, you got 10%. So how many planes and ships you destroyed are not that relevant, because that's not what's blocking the Strait of Hormuz. The missiles, the missile launchers, and their stockpiles are what is blocking the Strait of Hormuz. And I don't know if Donald Trump is just too dense to understand that, or he understands that and is a pathological liar. Could be both, could be both. But it's not healthy to have a president of the United States who is completely detached from reality while we're in the middle of a war, because he might be convinced to restart that disastrous war, thinking that we're winning when we are doing anything but win in that disastrous war that Israel has ordered for us. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.